It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. I'm coming to you live. Yes, 7:30. 7:30 here on the East Coast. 6:30 Central Time, Chicago. Stand-ups. Chi-Town. Everybody on the Central Time Zone from Minneapolis to Milwaukee, down to Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis stand-up, Little Rock, Arkansas. I see you, Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Dallas, and Houston, live in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody to like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. You got it? All right. Had a great show last night. Great monologue. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Yes, Nick Cannon, and well, we know Amber Rose, she got issues. Chili, Miss Rosanda, Chili Thomas from TLC, we talked about that. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, and you can throw folks in there like Nelly, Waka Flocka. Yeah, Lil Wayne was supporting Orange Hitler too. 50 Cent, Stephen A. Smith. I could go on. Tim Scott and Clarence Thomas, Byron Donalds. I know I'm leaving some out. All skin folk and kinfolk. But I have no patience. I have no tolerance. Listen, all skin folk and kinfolk with the times we're living in now. If you support verbally or with your money or all of it, if you co-sign with anyone, any regime, any ideology, any person that clearly displays that they are anti-black and the decisions, the policies they enact and their actions is clearly anti-black, really anti-human, you don't get your blackness won't give you a pass, because your anti-blackness will not give you a pass with these white nationalists. Because this white construct of they call social construct of whiteness, which is a con. It was created to divide and conquer people. So the fact that you got, and I know it's powerful now, to kind of paraphrase a line Samuel L. Jackson had in, what was that movie? I think it was, Halle Berry was in it, and the other brother, kind of nerdy, tall, brown-skinned brother. Anyway, he's like, boy, this must be a mighty powerful drug. Tommy Davidson was in that same movie. I can't think of the name of it. It'll come to me. But anyway, I understand that this ideology of whiteness, which is really it's really rooted. It's a power structure, and it's an ideology, and it's a brainwash and a poison and a mind to divide and conquer people and to subjugate and make a whole continent of people feel that they are less than somebody because they got more melanin. Anyway, I talk about that a lot last night, so you can go back and check out last night's monologue. But look, I have zero patience. I'm just not. I don't care. I don't care if you got more melanin than me. All right, either you're with us or you're against us. You are pro-black, and pro-black. Now let me make it clear. All right. Well, you pro-black, you must be anti-white. I am pro-human, but in America, I am unapologetically pro-black because America has been unapologetically anti-black for over 4 centuries. And really, many Europeans from Portugal and Spain to the Dutch up in the Netherlands to the French, throwing the Germans too, Eastern Europeans have been anti-black. I guess the Chinese don't get a pass, even some folks in India, because the ideology of anti-blackness and racism is global. And it was exported across the globe. So I don't care how many records you sold. I don't care how, who you may be or you may think you are. I don't care how many babies you got by a whole bunch. You can be a human sperm bank. Hello, Nick Cannon. Look, I love TLC, but I can love the T-bars, and the L, left eye, rest in power, rest in heaven. And I can cut off the chili, or as my grandmother said, I can love you with a long-handled spoon. That is from a distance. And Amber Rose, well, ain't just, child, go sit down. Good luck with that. All right. Keep loving your master, because your master don't love you. Kiss your master's ass, kiss his feet, bow. And the more you do that, the less he respects you. He didn't respect you from the jump. So, continue to love your master. You know, show your master how much you love him or her. This concept. So let's talk about Orange Hitler. We're supposedly now willing to end the war that Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu, the racist white nationalist prime minister of Israel, and his extremely racist government. People like Ben Gvir, one of the leaders of this regime that has performed executed genocide in Gaza, virtually. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians dead. The majority of them women and children. They've leveled the majority of that little small strip of land, and they leveled it. So, and now they're doing the same thing in southern Lebanon. So this was the war that Bibi Netanyahu wanted with Iran, and Orange Hitler, caught the same wet dream fantasy that Bibi Netanyahu, but both white nationalists. Goes to show you that all these people who claim religion, that will slap religion on their bigotry and hatred and misogyny and sexism and call it white Christian nationalism or call it, Zionism. Because I had an interesting conversation with a Jewish brother, friend of mine. I'm not gonna out him, but I'm not going to tell you how I know him, because I don't want him. This was a confidential conversation. But he taught me something. He described. He said, "Hey, listen, man. This is what I want you to understand, because I talked about the majority of people in Israel. They're not with Bibi Netanyahu and that whole regime. Just like the majority of Americans, especially now, are not with Orange Hitler and all this racism and white Christian nationalism, as they call it, which they just slapped their racism and misogyny and hate and violence, slapped Christianity. It's like you take a bottle of poison and just let's slap Christianity on the bottle. Oh, drink Christianity, but it's poison. But some folks will drink it because, the label says Christianity, it must be. No. And the same thing over in Israel. So he explained to me, and he made a comparison to with these white Christian nationalists and this white Christian nationalism, which has nothing to do with Christianity at all. He said, so Geno, let me explain to you the difference between Judaism, Jews who practice Judaism, and Zionism. I was like, ooh, this is about to get good. He said, compare it. He said, Zionism basically is, now this was a Jewish brother that told me this, white Jewish brother. He said, Zionism is basically the belief that only Jews should live on that strip of land. The state of Israel, that was really, it was occupied. It was under British rule. They had colonized that part, Palestine, before 1947. And then, because it was a choice between, and it was a place for the European Jews that had escaped the Holocaust and Hitler's atrocity and inhumanity. So the United Nations, primarily the United States and the United Kingdom and France, they got together and said, we need to create a homeland, a state, an independent state for these Eastern European Jews that have survived the Holocaust. Hence, and there was two choices. Well, at least, I think it was more than two, but I know one was they were considering turning Uganda into the state of Israel. Oh, that would have been a real neat trick. But it turned out they took the land before 1947, where you see the state of Israel on a map, it'll say that land was called Palestine. And I'm not going to go into the whole historical context of all of it. But the state of Israel was created in 1940, roughly around 1947, by basically the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, among other countries, but they were part of the UN. So he said, Judaism and Zionism is different. He said Zionism is basically the belief that only Jews should live on the land as the state of Israel, and that the Palestinians have no claim, no rights, that they shouldn't, that they shouldn't be there, even though they were there before these European Jews basically were imported and moved in to the state of Israel starting in 1947. He said Judaism is entirely different than Zionism. He said, just think of it how you got Christianity, the Matthew 23 version of Christianity, love thy neighbor, welcome the immigrant, love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. And this white Christian nationalism that's rooted in hate. So he said that's the basic difference. That is, so you can compare Zionism to white Christian nationalism. And this was from a white Jewish brother. I was like, thank you for the education. So the point I'm trying to make is that Bibi Netanyahu had this wet dream fantasy about basically destroying Iran and all this regime change. You keep killing the leaders, but as soon as you kill the number one and number two, number three guy, number four, number five, another number one and number two, number three pops up. No matter how many you kill them, it's like whack-a-mole. As soon as you kill a bunch of them, some more pop up over here. You kill those, and some more pop up over here. They kill those, some more pop up over there. So this is Bibi Netanyahu that wanted to do this. And he just led Orange Hitler by the nose over into Iran without a plan, without a strategy, without consulting with their NATO allies. So now Orange Hitler's pissed off. He's been pissed off because all these NATO countries, first of all, you didn't consult with these countries. Like, he's pissed off at the United Kingdom and other countries that wouldn't send their naval fleets to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, that little strip of land that's at the bottom part, the southern part of the Persian Gulf. 1/5 of the world's oil comes through that little strip. Now, the Strait of Hormuz was wide open until Israel and the United States bombed Iran for a second time. Because they bombed them last June and supposedly, we've obliterated their nuclear capability. Then all of a sudden, actually they didn't do it. So now, and then Orange Hitler was telling us a couple weeks before this war, which is a little over a month now, toward the end of February. So it was like, the very beginning of March. If we didn't strike Iran, they supposedly had a nuclear. They were 2 weeks away from building a nuclear bomb. Now you had people who were part of this regime, this racist regime. A guy named Tom Kent, Tulsi Gabbard, who were, part of national security. And this guy, Tom Kent, was hardcore MAGA. And he quit because he's like, I can't go along with this lie. And then he's been on different podcasts saying, listen, there was no evidence that Iran had a nuclear weapon or even had the capability to immediately build a nuclear weapon. So there was all the intelligence showed that Iran didn't have any capability. They weren't 2 weeks away from building a nuclear weapon. That's what the MAGA dude said. And Tom Kent, and he quit. Or I think it's Tom Kent or Joe Kent. Joe Kent, I think. And Tulsi Gabbard, who was part of the regime, said the same thing. But nonetheless, Orange Hitler, or Bibi Netanyahu, led his little lapdog, Orange Hitler, into this war, attacking. And look, and for some folks that may say, well, why are black people cheering for Iran and caping for Iran? I am not caping for Iran, all right? It is a very repressive, murderous. They killed tens of thousands or more of their own people. So I'm not co-signing for them at all. But you need to know who you're dealing with. Anybody who understands anything about the military, one of the first rules, one of the very early rules or first rules is you better know your enemy as well as you know yourself. Because if you don't know your enemy, you are setting yourself up basically to get your ass whooped. And the people who understood Iran and had been studying Iran and working back and forth with different Iranian leaders who had that institutional knowledge, 30, 40 years of it, this regime, Orange Hitler, let them all go. Or little punk-ass, cross-eyed FBI director, Kash Patel, fired him with his cross-eyed ass. Sorry for any cross-eyed people out there. With his little cheerleading little punk ass. And Pete Hegseth did the same thing. So the people who had the institutional knowledge about Iran and its culture and its history, we're talking about thousands. This is a country that has existed. These people, Persians, Google it, ChatGPT it. Thousands of years. They've been around for 1,000 years. The United States, July 4th turns 250 years old. That whole Persian Empire, that region, they've been around for over 1,000 years. And they're religious zealots. You think these MAGA cult white Christian nationalists are religious zealots? Shit. Talk to some people who've escaped Iran. Them folks are crazy with this religious, which is so weird that people use religion and supposedly the tenets of whoever your God is, that you use those tenets to justify murder, killing, and rape. Pete Hegseth's punk ass, Secretary of Defense, stood up and was saying a prayer and praying for basically the weapons, allow our weapons to find their target. And shout out to the Pope, the new Pope who's from Chicago. He was like, no. Jesus, God will not hear your prayers if you are praying to allow God to let you kill somebody. If you are given a prayer of success in murdering even your enemy, killing your enemy, that prayer will not be heard and you will have blood on your hands. I'm paraphrasing. That's what the Pope told Pete Hegseth without even name checking his ass. This dude stood there with this racist, remixed, violent version of this white Christian nationalism that he espouses to. Yes, and we pray, God, we pray that our targets find their mark. You praying to God to assist you in murder? And you think you're going to make heaven that way? So shout out to the new Pope because he shut that shit down. So now remember, Orange Hitler basically, he didn't know what to do. You've got this confusion, that little strip of land I was telling you earlier, the Strait of Hormuz. Now, remember, that little strip of land, the Strait of Hormuz, was open. And it was open until Israel and the United States said, okay, we're going to bomb Iran again. And Orange Hitler is mad because other countries won't help him, and is the state of Israel, their racist regime with Bibi Netanyahu, won't help them reopen the Straits of Hormuz. Today, Orange Hitler made some statement, well, you all just go and open it. If you need the oil, go and reopen the Strait of Hormuz yourself. We don't need the oil. So if you want it open, go reopen it yourself. Your punk ass, you and Bibi Netanyahu, you all are the reason it closed. And then when all these other countries said, nope, the United Kingdom, no, we're not sending, not only did they say we're not sending our naval fleet, what really ticked them off, Spain, Italy, Poland, and Germany said, no, what you're not going to do is you are not going to use the military bases we've allowed you, your military bases that we've allowed you to build and to have on our soil. You are not going to launch any attacks on Iran from the military bases of yours on our land. Do that shit out in the ocean, send the missiles from the United States, but you are not going to use the U.S. military bases in Spain, Italy, Poland, or Germany. Nope, zero, zilch, nada. Y'all can't do that. Now, if you're going to do that, just shut the shit down and send all the soldiers back to, Camp Lejeune or to the, Fort Bragg, or wherever you want to send them. Well, you can get them the hell up out of here because nope, you didn't consult with us. You didn't ask us about it. You didn't sit down and say, let's coordinate, let's get a plan and a strategy. You and Bibi Netanyahu, big bad, bold, badass, we gonna do what the hell we want to do. We don't give, it's the U.S. and it's Israel. We the biggest and baddest on the block. How'd it work out for you? So no, black folks ain't cheering for Iran, but black folks know bullshit. So you've got a regime right here that is in the White House that has their own, basically, invasion force, their own private military, ICE agents, murdering American citizens, white American citizens, murdering them, shooting them down, killing them in broad daylight. So folks are like, well, hold on, we know how repressive and murderous this regime is, but y'all trying to catch it. How you've just snatched up American citizens and you put them in these detention camps, not to mention the ones that you kicked out of the country, even the ones that were American citizens. Lawless ass, this is a lawless ass war. You don't give a damn about the law, the Constitution. You just figure out, look, who's going to stop me? I'm Orange Hitler, I'm the president, I can do what the hell I want to do. So these other countries like, oh, good luck with that. And then don't get in your feelings, because we're not going to help you clean up the mess that you and the state of Israel and Bibi Netanyahu made. No. And in the meantime, Orange Hitler goes, well, I'm willing to, end the war and just let the other countries open, we'll say the war, we won the war. He's been, well, we won it like the first, second day, even though the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. So we won the war, and if the other countries, if they need oil from the Strait of Hormuz, let them send their naval fleet and their soldiers. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that? So Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, said he is not sending any Israeli troops to Iran. Wait, hold on. Time out, hold on. So your punk ass, you started this war. You drug Orange Hitler by the nose, led his ass into this war. So you all these bombs, America has dropped tens of thousands of bombs on Iran. You just thought these Iranians were just gonna with regime change, and then the Iranian people could go out in the street and take control of their country and engage in regime change. And they were like, nope, they killed 30,000 of us last winter. Y'all don't know these folks is crazy. So that didn't happen. The Strait of Hormuz is not open. None of the other countries are going to help you fight this war that you started, this war of aggression. Iran hadn't attacked the United States or Israel. This was a war, second time the U.S. and Israel bombed Iran in less than a year. So you've got a crazy, evil, racist, white nationalist that's running Israel. You got a crazy, racist, misogynist, at least no less pedophile adjacent or worse dude in the White House. We don't know all kind of shit with Bibi Netanyahu that we probably don't know about. And you got this regime that's been very oppressive and killed their own citizens in Iran. So I'm like, so all of y'all's crazy, and all of y'all got blood on your hands, and all of you all are evil. But why should our sons and daughters and grandchildren and nieces and nephews, why are they gonna go to Iran and Karg Island and go and get slaughtered? Because all the military experts that are veterans, they understand. Trying to take over that little island in the Persian Gulf, and you're talking about troops, boots on the ground, and the Iranians know you coming. They're like, yeah, we're waiting on the Americans. And once you get some of these amphibious boats, or even some of these carriers to go down that Strait of Hormuz, they're gonna be sitting ducks. And what happens if one or two American battleships, if you see video or live shots of these American battleships on fire after they've been blown to pieces, and hundreds, thousands of American soldiers are coming home in body bags? So what, to take Iranian oil back in 1987, Orange Hitler was on with, rest in power, this woman, Barbara Walters, who was a legendary journalist. And he was like, well, we should take oil, just take the oil in Iran. Iran like, okay, you can F around and find out. Come on. This ain't Venezuela. And you can come in here with that foolishness if you want to. But in the meantime, Barron Trump just turned 20. As a matter of fact, the military just raised, I guess, the age limit to now you can be up to 42. I guess the cutoff is after 42, then they won't take you into the military. So that means, oh, Eric Trump, come on down. Tiffany Trump, come on down. Barron Trump, you just turned 20 11 days ago. Bring your little punk ass down. We don't care about you being 6'8" or 6'9". Oh, you're not too tall. You are just right. And no, bone spurs ain't going, no, that's okay. You bring your bone spurs and everything else. Bring your bone spurs, and we're going to give you this M16, put you and your brother Eric and Tiffany on one of these C-130s with Pete Hegseth and send your punk ass. And they should put their daddy on the same C-130 or C-17. These big, huge jets that carry soldiers and giant cargo, and drop them off on Karg Island. So you willing to send other people's sons and daughters and grandchildren and nieces and nephews to die, but your little punk ass sons and your daughter, oh, they get to stay here? No. No, that's not what we're doing. So if you want to do that, you and Bibi Netanyahu, I don't know if Bibi Netanyahu is it, but he's just said that he's not going to send ground troops into Iran. But America's supposed to send ground troops into Iran? Let Bibi Netanyahu and Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the other Persian Gulf countries, Kuwait and Qatar, UAE and Oman, along with Saudi Arabia, they got militaries. I know they have air forces. They had the weapons that Americans sold them. And America gives the state of Israel $6.8 million a day. And all these weapons that America has sold or given to Bibi Netanyahu. So how you going to say that you're not going to send Israeli soldiers after you started the shit? You started and drug America into the war, but now all of a sudden you're going to throw a rock and hide your hand, Bibi Netanyahu. Oh, no, we got to focus on southern Lebanon. We ain't going to send those. Oh, you're not going to send your sons and daughters You started this war with Iran, but you're not going to send your sons and daughters to Iran. But you want America to? Because Orange Hitler's dumb ass is dumb enough to do it? Oh, no. Even if you voted for this silly motherfucker, you should be pissed off. Why should your son or daughter, why should your grandchild go all the way over to Iran to what? To take their oil? Supposedly America has more oil underneath its ground and off the shore. So we supposedly have more oil reserves than any other country in the world. So if we got more oil reserves and more oil in the ground than any other country, then what do you need with Iran's oil? You just bogarted and carjacked Venezuela and carjacked their oil. So what do you need to do? For what? What? No. If you want that oil that bad, Orange Hitler, you and Pete Hegseth, get Eric and Tiffany and Barron. I say, hell, put Don Jr. He may be a little over age. That's okay. You know, you can, Orange Hitler, you can change the rule. You don't obey the Constitution as it is. You don't obey no rules, so why different? All of them. Suit them up. Straight to the recruiter's office. As a matter of fact, have a recruiter right there, somewhere, Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, wherever. Send their ass, here, raise your hand, sign up, here's your M16, get your ass on that C-130, that C-17, your punk ass. Your daddy gonna be sitting right there, you and Pete Hegseth. You go and but BB ain't gonna help you. BB said, nope, we're not sending any Israeli troops into Iran. So now that's all of a sudden Orange Hitler's trying to, well, we're about to end the war. Yeah, because your boy just basically left you high and dry and said, fuck you. I'm not getting our young men and women killed. Let America's dumbass do that. Okay. Thank you hey, shout out to everybody watching this show. Oh yeah, we're on one tonight. So shout out to everybody, my number one fan, my executive producer. Thank you, Mary Dixon, AKA that's my mom and my executive producer. Everybody else watching, thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Tell everybody, like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. You can tag the episode with everybody. Hey, if you would like to be a sponsor or advertise, I'd love to have you as a sponsor or advertise on the Geno Jones Show. So you can reach out to me, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. That's how you do it. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. All right, or if you want to support the show via Zelle or Cash App financially, you can support the show, my media company. Let's see. So on Zelle, use my email address, Geno Jones Show, that's how you spell it, at gmail.com, or Cash App, $, G Jones, all one word, $ capital D, lowercase AD, capital G J, lowercase ONES. Allie Jones is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram, lx.ncl_lx.ncl_. And Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram or IG, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. All right, the next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Thank you for watching, everybody. I love you. Love, I don't give a damn what the dictionary says. I don't care about Webster's or Merriam. Love, real love, is a verb. It is an action word. Show somebody you love them. Show them by your action and your behavior, your actions and your behavior every day. and I love you. Thank you.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.